You know, some days start so normal you'd never guess they'd end up changing your whole damn life. I was in my garage that morning, tools lined up like soldiers, sun cutting through the open door, when three guys in cheap uniforms rolled up, acting like they own the place. "Hand over your firearms, sir, or we're calling the real cops." The leader barked, chest puffed out like he was starring in some B-movie cop flick. I froze, not out of fear, but because I couldn't believe the audacity. I've seen war, lost friends in deserts half a world away, and now some wannabe rent-a-cops thought they could waltz onto my property in Maplewood, Tennessee, and demand my guns? My granddad's hunting rifle, my dad's old service piece. Hell, my own collection, earned through years of sweat and sacrifice? No chance. I laughed, low and sharp, and said, "You boys must have missed the memo. This ain't Halloween, and I ain't playing." Their badges glinted wrong in the sunlight, flimsy as tinfoil, and their radios crackled with static that sounded more like a kid's walkie-talkie than anything official. I've been trained to spot fakes. Years in the Army will do that to you. And these clowns weren't even close to convincing. The tall one, calling himself Officer Daniels, had this smirk like he'd already won. "Maplewood Homeowners Association, sir. We're enforcing safety regulations." His buddies, one twitchy with a clipboard, the other built like a linebacker but moving like he'd never seen a drill sergeant, flanked him with all the grace of a community theater troupe. I leaned against my workbench, arms crossed, and took in the scene. My gun safe in the corner, locked tight with federal compliance seals, and these jokers eyeing it like it was a piñata. "HOA security, huh?" I said, letting a grin creep in. "Never heard of that department. You get those badges from a cereal box." Daniel's face twitched, just for a second, and I swear I saw the twitchy one's clipboard shake. That's when it hit me. Daniels looked familiar. Not from any precinct, but from a late-night TV ad for Sleepy Hollow mattresses, dancing around in a discount suit, promising dreams for less. I stepped closer, squinting. "Wait a damn minute. You're that mattress guy, aren't you? Sweet dreams guaranteed." His smirk vanished faster than a popped balloon, and his buddies traded looks like they'd just been caught stealing cookies. I pulled out my phone, hit record, and said, "All right, fellas, smile for the camera. Military protocols in play now." See, in Afghanistan, you learn quick. Fake authority gets people killed. These guys were running the same playbook, just with polyester uniforms instead of tactical gear. I planted myself between them and my safe, voice steady, but my heart thumping. "Step off my property. You've got no jurisdiction here." The linebacker muttered into his radio, but it was all static, no response. Twitchy tried waving some official papers, but they looked like they'd been printed at a Kinko's 10 minutes ago. I kept filming, calling their bluff. "Those forms got a supervisor's name? A department? Or did you just Google cop paperwork last night?" Then, from the driveway, came a voice sharp enough to cut glass. "If you don't comply, I'm calling the real police." It was Karen Mitchell, our HOA president, standing there with her arms crossed, radiating that self-righteous energy only a neighborhood dictator can muster. She'd been gunning for me since I moved in. Didn't like my truck, my flagpole, or, apparently, my constitutional rights. Neighbors started gathering, phones out, some holding signs that screamed "safety first" in identical, crooked handwriting. Karen was putting on a show, and I was the villain. She held up her phone, playing a grainy video of me cleaning my guns in the garage, edited to make it look like I was aiming at the street. "He's a threat to our kids," she declared, voice trembling for effect. The crowd murmured, and I felt the air shift, doubt creeping in, even from folks who'd waved at me yesterday. "That's some Oscar-worthy editing, Karen." I shot back, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Notice the timestamps don't line up? Or how the lighting jumps like a bad movie? Old missus. Carter, my next-door neighbor, squinted at the video and frowned. I was weeding my garden all day yesterday. Didn't see a thing like that. A kid, maybe 10, tugged at his mom's sleeve and asked, "Is Mr. Jake dangerous?" That hit me hard, not anger, but this gut-deep ache. These people were scaring kids with their lies. I crouched down to the boy and said, "Buddy, I'm just a guy who fixes trucks and keeps his promises. We're safe here." Karen's face went red, but the crowd was starting to whisper, question marks in their eyes. Then sirens. Real ones. A police cruiser rolled up, and out stepped Officer Thompson, a guy whose stance screamed ex-military. He scanned the scene, eyes narrowing at Daniel's flimsy badge. "ID now," he said, voice like gravel. Daniels tried to play it cool, handing over his credentials and babbling about HOA enforcement. Thompson didn't even glance at the badge. He looked at me, saw my old Army shirt, and something clicked. "Sergeant," he asked, one word carrying a lifetime of shared grit. I nodded, throat tight. "These guys aren't cops, sir. They're actors playing dress-up." Thompson turned to Daniel's crew, his hand near his holster. "Department contact. Supervisor name. Now." Silence. Just sweat and stuttering. I kept my phone rolling, capturing every second of their collapse. Karen doubled down, waving her phone at Thompson. "He's a danger. Look at this video." Thompson barely glanced at it. "Ma'am, that's routine firearm maintenance. Nothing illegal here." He keyed his radio, voice steady. "Dispatch, I need a detective and federal backup. Possible impersonation and civil rights violations." Daniel's crew went pale, and Karen's righteous axe started crack. The crowd was shifting now, neighbors like Mrs. Carter speaking up. "Jake's been nothing but kind. Helped me fix my porch last month." The kid's mom nodded, pulling her son close, but looking at me with something like respect. What came next was like watching a house of cards fall. Detective Alvarez arrived, a no-nonsense woman with a mobile command unit that screamed serious business. They dug into Karen's laptop, and the truth spilled out like a busted dam. Months of searches, how to remove veterans from neighborhoods, firearm-free communities, hiring security to intimidate. Karen had paid Daniel's crew $5,000 up front, with more promised, to scare me into giving up my guns. It wasn't just me. Alvarez showed me files. 38 veterans across 4 states, all targeted with the same fake badges, fake papers, fake crises. Daniels wasn't just a mattress salesman. He was a con man running a syndicate, preying on vets for profit, using corrupt HOA officials like Karen to do it. The community meeting a week later was a circus. Daniels, now in cuffs, tried one last desperate move, holding up doctored footage claiming I was a PTSD-fueled threat. The room went quiet. Neighbors eyed grilled burgers with looking at me like I was a stranger. My chest burned, not from fear, but from the betrayal of having my service twisted into a weapon. Then Dr. Ellis, a military counselor, stepped in, her voice cutting through the noise. "That video's fake. Timestamps manipulated, audio spliced." She pulled up my real service record, medals for restraint, for saving civilians, and the room shifted again. "Mrs." Carter stood up, trembling. "My boy died in Iraq. How dare you use a veteran's service to lie?" Her words hit harder than any bullet. I stood, voice shaking but clear. "Yeah, combat changed me. I've got scars you can't see. But those scars taught me discipline, not danger. That's safe in my garage. It's not just guns, it's my family's history, 3 generations of service." The room softened, and Daniel's lies crumbled. Karen's face was a mask of shame, her safety crusade exposed as a paid scheme to strip my rights. The legal fallout was swift. Daniels got 20 years for conspiracy and impersonation, his operations millions seized for victim restitution. Karen took a plea, 8 years in prison, full restitution, and a lifetime ban from HOA rolls. Her apology in court was raw, voice-breaking as she admitted, "I thought I was saving the neighborhood. I was wrong." Her cooperation helped shut down 3 more fake security outfits, saving dozens of vets from the same fight. But the real win wasn't the gavel. It was the Maplewood Freedom Center built in my old garage. Vets, kids, even cops now come to learn about rights, about spotting fake authority, about balancing freedom and community. My granddad's rifle sits there, not as a weapon, but as a symbol. 3 generations of duty, protected not by force, but by truth. Congress passed the Veterans Defense Act because of our case, setting up nationwide protections against HOA overreach. My fight's now taught in law schools, cited in Supreme Court briefs. A reminder that one garage can change a nation. Looking back, I wonder, where's the line between safety and control? Karen thought she was protecting kids. Daniels was just chasing cash. Me? I was just a guy defending his home. What would you have done, facing those fake cops? Would you call it a bluff or play it safe? Drop a comment. Tell me your take. Let's talk about what freedom really means when the badges aren't real. If this hit you, hit that thumbs up, share it with someone who gets it. Stay sharp, stay free, and I'll catch you in the next one.